I just got this slinky style extension cord, forTthe, rated at 15 amps, that goes from 20 inches to 40 feet as my single source of power for all of my tooling on the Paulk Smart Station. Hi, I'm Ron Paulk, and this is the Smart Woodshop. If you want to get a detailed set of plans to build a smart woodshop for yourself or one of my workbenches, there's a link in the description of this video down below where you can go purchase plans and download them instantaneously 24/7, 365. The Paulk Smart Workbenches are unique and different from my workbenches in the past because they're on wheels, they're mobile. With the Paulk Smart Cart, I can now have my tooling set up and move them a little bit or a lot and really be efficient and get exactly done what I want without spending a lot of time resetting or thinking about where I need to set up for a particular operation. To do that though, particularly with the Paulk Smart Station, where I have my miter stand and my saw stop table saw, my sander, I run my routers, and of course the vacuum, I need power to this. Being mobile though, I need that power to sort of follow me around. Now the cord on the Festool vacuum is plenty big enough cord and long enough cord to provide the power I need, not only to the vacuum, but from the vacuum to all of the other tools. And I do this because I only want one cord, but also because when I turn on any of these tools, I want it to turn on the vacuum to collect the dust, and I don't have to think about it. So I have a couple of hoses going out. This is a floater hose. It goes from, I'll move it from the miter saw over to the sander or over to the routers. And since everything is plugged into the vacuum with one of those squids or with the multiple plug-ins, no matter which one I turn on, it kicks on the vacuum. The problem with the cord from the vacuum though is it is a big heavy cord, and when I'm pulling away from the wall where it's plugged in, it works perfectly, it just moves on the floor. But when I go to move in the direction of the cord, it's heavy, it sits on the floor, and it trips up the cart. It sort of hits against the wheels, and I have to go and slide it around, so it's a little less efficient. So I wanted to come up with a way to have the cord stay out of my way. I don't want to think about moving it. And I thought about one of those coils that retract, but I don't want to mount anything. Keeping the benches simple is really the most critical thing for me. If things get too complicated, I know that I will just tend to think, oh, this is great and it works. But in and day out, it's those little things that get in your way of efficiency. So just having an extension cord, when I found these coily extension cords, I thought I'd give them a try, and I got another version of this that was a little easier to get, but it was a lighter gauge. It worked providing power, but I did notice that it wasn't enough. It was a 13 amp cord. This is a 15 amp. So this is a heavier gauge, a 14 gauge. Now I wanted a 12. I like 12 threes. That's all of my regular extension cords are 12 threes. But the 12-3 they offer is only 20 feet. And with these slinky style cords, these flexi cords, that extended length that they rate at, the 20 feet, you're never going to get. That would be if you stretch the cord out completely taut, and that wouldn't work. So I haven't really measured, but the 40 foot on this, I'm guessing that I get about 30 feet of mobility, which is perfect. That gives me a lot of mobility from where I'm plugged in, and then of course I can unplug it and move it to another plug to extend it to somewhere else. Pretty easy to do, not a lot of thought, not a lot of complexity in doing that. It has worked out though, both in the 13 and the 15 amp version, in doing exactly what I need. When I move this around, it never gets in my way. Now I've just got this one, I've only had this one about 4 or 5 days, but I did have the smaller version of it, and I've used it for a month or two, and it has worked great as far as staying out of my way. What happens is when I'm pulling it away, of course, It works the same as the other does. It just will follow me around. But what's really nice is when I go back toward it, it never gets in my way. I don't have to think about where it is or worry about it tripping me up. Of course, I'm not moving it around much in here. I don't have a lot of room in this shop. But you can see it just coils back up as I'm moving. It stays out of the way. It doesn't get in the way of the wheels. It's tall enough, it's big enough that even if it did sort of sit by a wheel, it's just going to push it away. The wheel's just going to push it away. It's not going to try to get underneath. So I give this a thumbs up. This is one of those tools that I realized I had a need. I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be. When I looked at the options out there, I found nothing that was going to work for me, and I was going to stick with just the extension cord built into the vacuum. But when I saw smaller versions of these, and I got a couple of them for regular extension cords, not only the 13, but I got some smaller ones as well that are not smaller in the sense of lower amperage, but little shorter 10-footers. So I got a couple of those, and I got the other 40-footer that's a 13 amp. I'll be able to use those in other applications. In fact, the 13 amp I'm going to keep at home. What a great extension cord just to have in the closet. You don't have to worry about rolling it up. You just pull it out, and it just compacts, and it stores really easy, and it doesn't get tangled. That's the other thing I've noticed about these. I've not had a tangling issue at all. I give this FlexiCord a thumbs up, and I highly recommend it, and I do not know of another option on the market available to us today. If you like these tooltip videos, if you've learned anything, if you'd like to see me make more, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And remember, when you subscribe, ring that bell so you'll know when I put up a new video. Thanks for dropping into the Smart Woodshop. Stay safe and have a great day.